Homosexuality has been an issue in politics for decades. Many politicians have advocated for and against homosexuality during the years, and more recently it has become less and less of an issue as LGBTQ rights have become more commonly accepted in American society. Secretary of Transportation Pete Buttigieg was one of the first major politicians to openly come out as gay during the 2020 election cycle. But there have always been rumors and speculations that many high-ranking politicians were secretly gay, including Senator Lindsey Graham and even President Ronald Reagan. However, none have been more talked about and have had more evidence for than James Buchanan. Buchanan shaped a legacy for himself while in the White House that is looked upon now as unfavorable. But the rumors about what he did outside of the presidency are still talked about to the present day. So let's take a deep dive and answer the question, was James Buchanan secretly gay? Now, some of you may be thinking, whoa, didn't Buchanan have a wife? Well, Elton John did, and look how that turned out. But in fact, James Buchanan to this day is the only bachelor president in United States history. He was engaged to a woman named Ann Coleman when he was 28, but she called off the engagement and mysteriously died in 1819. So James Buchanan never married, which didn't help the rumors that began to circulate during and after his presidency. The evidence to support these rumors comes before Buchanan became president in 1857. As a young politician, Buchanan openly lived with Alabama Senator William Rufus King for more than 16 years. They met in Washington, and the relationship may explain why Buchanan, who was from Pennsylvania, was called a doughface, or northerner with southern sympathies who did not oppose slavery. During his time in politics, Buchanan advocated for the Supreme Court to deliver an expansive ruling on the Dred Scott case, which denied freed slaves American citizenship and banned Congress from regulating slavery. Buchanan also lobbied for Kansas to become a slave state. When King left the States for a posting in Paris, Buchanan wrote a letter to a good friend stating how he wasn't coping well with the loss of his close friend. The letter reads, quote, "I am now solitary and alone. Having no companion in the house with me, I have gone a-wooing to several gentlemen, but have not succeeded with any one of them. I feel that it is not good for a man to be alone, and should not be astonished to find myself married to some old maid who can nurse me when I'm sick, provide good dinners for me when I'm well, and not expect from me any very ardent or romantic affection." Unquote. The big takeaways from this letter are that Buchanan had gone a-wooing to several gentlemen. Now, I'm not sure what that means, but I'm pretty sure it doesn't mean to have a drink with the guys at the bar. Another important point in the letter is that Buchanan admits that he would not give romantic affection to a woman. King actually wrote to Buchanan from Paris, and his letter reads, quote, "I am selfish enough to hope that you will not be able to procure an associate for who will cause you to feel no regret at our separation. For myself, I feel lonely in the midst of Paris, for here I shall have no friend with whom I shall communicate as with my own thoughts." Unquote. Famously, Andrew Jackson referred to King as Miss Nancy, a euphemism for a gay man, and others were documented as calling King Buchanan's better half, and one congressman even called him Mrs. B. All of this would be pretty weird if Buchanan and King were not in a romantic relationship, and it's also important to note that Buchanan and King had their personal papers burned after their deaths. Something else that is important is that during this point in American history, Americans generally considered being gay a private matter and irrelevant to holding or performing public office. Hostility towards gay individuals ramped up during the 1900s, and especially after World War II, when homosexuality became more popular. King died in 1853, and Buchanan was never seen having a romantic relationship with anyone beyond that point until his death in 1868. Buchanan was not a popular president during his time in office, and to this day is credited with lighting the fuse that would become the American Civil War. But one thing to come out of his time in public office are the many speculations about his sexuality and romantic attractions. Whether you think he's gay or not, two things are for certain. James Buchanan did not have romantic or sexual attraction to women, and he definitely had some kind of romance with William Rufus King. Thank you all for taking the time out of your day to watch this. It is always greatly appreciated. I'll have links to my Twitter and Discord server in the description below. And as always, I'll see you on the flip side.
Because people have got to know whether or not their president's a crook. Well, I'm not a crook. Motherfucking boss.